Good evening. Good evening to everyone. So today we are going to have a debate session on energy conservation. So let us all to be silent. Okay. So to be occupied the stage. The speaker is on now. Yes. Okay. So students, so today we have a very great session on energy conservation debate a possible, realist, achievable, practical goal versus and impossible, ideal, non-achievable, impractical goal by igniting with their minds. So the elements are, I request all the elements to keep silent. Keep quiet and enjoy the program. Okay, so all the people who are watching the YouTube also, they can have their own chat and they can also question there. So at the end of the session, there is an appreciation prize which is waiting for you. So all the people are requested to listen to the program and to come up with a solution. So the panel is so before introducing the moderator, so I need to give a few words about the moderator. So the moderator is a renowned person who is working as an executive engineer in Tamil Nadu Electricity Board in Transco. So he is going to moderate the title. The title is a fantastic title. So which is again named as a possible. Possible is impossible. So the impossible thing is there is a which is that I am possible. But when you listen and support the idea, whatever energy conservation thought process you are going to apply today, that is going to be the future thought process for the next generation. So I recommend all the people silent and enjoy the program. So over to moderator sir. Please sir. Please take conversation sir. Thank you. Very good evening. All the some as you know, today's topic discussion is the energy conservation possible, realistic, achievable, and the negative this might also be an impossible, realistic, unachievable, impractical. The igniting young minds of India are present here, and I am very happy for being response by our secretary and also the respected engineers and officers, those who are from all these Tamil Nadu government companies, power generation, distribution, and transmission companies have made their presence and gracing this occasion. To introduce, three are going to talk about a possible realistic, achievable practical goal on the energy conservation, and they will be concentrating on their sectors. Major sectors being residential sector or housing and development, like infrastructure development sector. The second one is the
agriculture, commercial, fashion, and electric vehicles. And third one is the industrial sector. Foreign against the advocating engineers will be making their standpoints, and we will be really appreciating their initiative in bringing the system into control. And before that, certain things I should make to understand. India as well as Tamil Nadu are having greatest goals of achieving India the 30 trillion economy by 2035 and Tamil Nadu 1 trillion economy by 2031. And for this, the main sector being the power sector must help growing the country in every possible way. And with the guidance and implementation of policies by the policymakers of Tamil Nadu is leading as a second largest economy as of now. And with the words of economic consultant to the government of Tamil Nadu, Mr. K.R. Shanmugam, we can tell in the industrial sector about 40,121 factories are there, and to an amount of 24.75 lakh factory workers are working there. And the contribution of the manufacturing, construction sector, service sector, and Tamil Nadu technical industries are reaching to the very highest level. In Tamil Nadu, technical institutions alone amounting to 955 as of 2024-25. And total merchandise export is doubled from $26.15 billion from 2021 to $52.07 billion by 23-24. And as you know, the gross employment ratio is 47% compared to the national average of 28%. And in India also, the women enrollment is 47.3. They are higher than the male students. And the per capita demand, the per capita income is calculated to be 3.62 lakhs, and also our fiscal deficit is within the control, being 3% of gross state GDP in 2025 and 26. Budget estimate anticipated. So, in all this, we are making the second largest economy and presently with the GSDP of 26.88 lakh crores, and we have to grow up to 1 trillion economy by the calculated and also the meticulous efforts of the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu and their ministry. From 2021 to till date, their contribution in the growth of the Tamil Nadu is of higher order. And also they are concentrating in each and every sector and on the welfare of the Tamil Nadu people, and everybody is happy as far as this government is concerned. So, in that, with that note, I would like to invite Engineer R.K. Manimundi to talk on the energy conservation, a possible realistic achievable practical goal in the residential sector. And she is a BA Computer Science graduate and also MBA in HR and presently working as a data analyst. Yes, so please go on. Be welcome and please go on.
Everyone, it's wonderful to be here to talk about something that impacts all of us, energy conservation. We all know energy is a precious resource and using it wisely matters more than ever because of the rising costs and the environmental concerns like climate change and the depletion of non-renewable resources. Today, I would like to concentrate more on the residential sector, our homes. The good news is conserving energy at home is not only necessary but absolutely achievable. To begin, let's understand why the energy in residential sector is so important in the energy landscape. In many countries, homes use about 20 to 30% of all the energy consumed. Think about it. Our heaters, air conditioners, lights, refrigerators, and gadgets. The N number of gadgets that we use all need power, and that's a lot. By making changes in how we use energy at home, the collective impact can be enormous, not just for our electricity bills, but for reducing carbon footprint and slowing down climate change. Small actions multiplied by millions of households can add up to savings. So, the residential sector generally comprises of individual and duplex apartments, multi-story apartments, high-rise residential buildings with more than 1,000 to 1,000 dwelling units. In modern days, urbanization is inevitable for basic human needs such as clothing and dwelling needs. Electricity forms the basic prerequisite and utmost requirement. So, what are the practical steps that we can do to conserve energy at home? The first and the easiest one involves our habits. Charges usually by using artificial light and small behaviors can lower the energy wasting significantly. Lighting. They matter a lot. Replacing incandescent bulb with LEDs is a simple swap that cuts electricity use for lighting up by 80%. LEDs last longer, so they reduce waste and replacement costs. Then comes heating and food. These are the major energy users in many homes. Improvements like ceiling cracks around windows and doors, adding better fittings or insulating walls and attics can cause the heat loss again, which means your heater or AC won't have to work as well. Using adaptable thermostats to lower heating or cooling when you're away or asleep saves energy without sacrificing comfort. There is not in a house. Using energy efficient model that can not be started in ensures you use another way. Vision proves that start both pictures can begin with water and materials. Not only this, the infrastructure ability to plan the way quickly evaluation. Solar designs with sound frequency mass and smart ventilation can cut energy use up to 70 to 80% as seen in advanced greenhouse systems. Smart natural lighting for the transport buildings with celestial windows, light shelves, ATMs, video snacks can snatch 20 to 40% of electricity waste. Smart glass and reflecting rooms saves at least 50%. Six, buildings consume 40% of global energy. Adopting these strategies could cut emissions by 30% in 2050 with faster return. Sustainable buildings aren't a dream, they are a practical solution today. Now to these points. Technology offers some exciting new ways to boost energy conservation. Smart home devices like programmable thermostats and energy monitors help save track and control energy use in real time, making it easier to spot waste and change power. Solar power is becoming more accessible for many consumers. Installing rooftop solar panels today offer clean electricity, significantly lowering the energy bills dependent on the grid. And with battery storage system, we can store solar energy for lifetime of power ages, enhancing energy independence revenues. Yes, the previous figures initiatives. And so the share of future purchases on energy to these programs make renewable energy more affordable. It creates and cooperation is great business. Of course, these changes can seem daunting. Some people worry about the upfront cost of the new appliances or the solar panels. But others may find changing the long credit habits inconvenient, but they are solutions. Government organizations offer subsidies, tax credits, and financial initiatives offset initial expenses. Educational campus and community workshops raise awareness and provide hands-on support help everyone adopt energy saving practices. When one household makes a change, it works everyone, creating a positive return. That's why we encourage everyone here to take the lead and motivate others. Every step forward counts, and together we can create a culture that values and practices energy conservation. And fellow engineers, we just want to leave our witness. Energy conservation in the residential sector is absolutely within our reach. But adapting few simple habits in embracing technologies, each of us can contribute to a healthier planet and a healthier world. So today, we challenge you to commit at least two energy saving actions in your home. Cannot use lights, switch to LED bulbs, start using anti-starving devices, explore renewable options like solar. Remember, saving energy is not just about cutting costs, it's about protecting our environment and creating a sustainable future for the future generations. Come, brother, might you a partner with the other perspective might against every argument to prove that energy conservation is impossible. But conversation was never about perfection. It's all about action. When everyone chooses to do something, the word impossible quietly disappears. That is why energy conservation is not a dream, but a realistic, practical, achievable goal. Thank you.
Related on the audience to conserve energy and neighbors help from possible, realistic, achievable, practical goal. Keeping commendable. You favor your motion. And now we are requesting Tamil Nadu Power Distribution Market Certificate pay at the Chennai State 3 Thermal Power Station, and he is also an IAS aspirant, and we wish him to become an IAS officer soon, and he is going to take the motion on the energy conservation in residential sector as an impossible, idealistic, non-achievable, practical, impractical goal. I congratulate and beg him to make his points. This question.
Respect is and worthy opponents, audience. Good evening. May I stand here resolutely for the movement that speaks that energy conservation in the residential sector is impossible, idealistic, not achievable, and an impractical goal. And I say this not because energy conservation is unimportant, because we are placing unrealistic expectations on ordinary citizens, ignoring the very basic structural, behavioral, financial, and societal limitations that make the goal practically unrealistic. Saying further, let us get into an expound understanding about this impracticality under 7 different subtopics. First and foremost, I am here to present my views on the very basic human behavior and the lifestyle patterns that make the conservation unrealistic. The biggest dimension is the human behavior. The residential energy conservation basically depends on people's daily actions such as switching off appliances, reducing AC usages, limiting screen time, and avoiding hot, long showers, and constantly being mindful of what that is being used. But the reality is very different. We can switch off the lights for a day, but we cannot switch off the habits for a lifetime. Human beings prefer convenience over caution and comfort over the conservation. Habits of discipline is extremely difficult to be maintained. Even if people start to with a good influencer, they literally tend to fall back to their own routine. Conservation requires consistent behavior, but human behavior is fairly consistently inconsistent. Conservation needs discipline, and comfort needs nothing. Yes, which means them. My second point is based on the rising lifestyle aspirations that directly oppose the conservation. We are living in a rapid urbanization and lifestyle. Every household here, buy more appliances day to day. Large televisions, more basics, multiple refrigerators for the dishwashers, smart vehicles, and even EV vehicles. The new trend. Earlier Indians appliances. Guess what now? It easily surpasses around 20 to 30. Even if these devices are more efficient, the total number of devices that we keep increasing. Actually, it raises the need consumption. When lifestyle expectations continuously rise, how can we realistically expect the overall consumption? This makes the energy conservation conceptually contradictory in the residential sector. Lifestyle aspirations grow, so does the energy awareness grow. The very basic, the most important financial barriers. The financial barriers will make the conservation privilege and not a practical goal. Those are not of my let me explain it. Energy efficient appliances such as solar rooftop systems, smart meters, insulations, double glazed windows. Yeah, excellent. All these wonderful ideas may sound wonderful only in paper, but they are very, very expensive. Energy conservation should not demand money from those who don't have practical. Even for a lower and middle income families, replacing the functional appliances just to save energy is economically unrealistic. If the conservation requires investment, it naturally becomes a privilege and not a democratic one. Energy conservation becomes a privileged choice for us. Every household, we are just expecting every household, to retrofit their houses to the latest technology, and it's equal to ask them to invest some money which they don't want to. That's the very foundational idea of energy conservation through certain household appliances, and the very large scale conservation is financially flawed. The next point is the structural reality of the Indian housing, which severely limits the conservation. Yeah, even the housing plays a major role. You cannot conserve energy in a building that is practically designed to waste it. Most households cannot reshape their houses. So how can they just reshape their energy demand? Mostly Indian homes in urban areas face structural limitations. Let me explain how. The rental flats back here, where the occupants cannot make changes. You cannot make any changes to the rental flats. Poor ventilations and cramped areas. No rooftop access for everyone for the solar panel itself. Lack of insulations and overcrowded neighbors have these risks. Naturally, that's more heat. Even the most energy conscious households is helpless to face with such architectural and infrastructural constraints. Thus, energy conservation is not feasible when the very built environment itself is inefficient and uncontrollable by the residents. The next point speaks on the lack of monitoring and enforcement, which makes the conservation theoretical and not practical. Yeah, industries and commercial buildings are being energy regulated, but in homes, yes, 2000 audits. Yeah, no one audits consumption in homes. There is no penalties for best stages, and there is no real accountability. Yeah, rules without enforcement are just suggestions and things. Awareness cannot make replace the accountability. In this regard, the conservation naturally becomes a moral suggestion and not a practical policy. Let's talk. Next, I am going to explain about a very important point, which is called the rebound effect. Yeah, you heard it, it's a rebound effect. Conservation itself just backfires us. Let's see how. Even when every household adapts for some energy efficient appliances, something ironic happens regularly. Because the appliances uses very less energy, people naturally tend to use them more. It is efficient, yeah, but they not keep. But because of which it is always kept on. The inverter ACs use less electricity for running the more time. The refrigerators are five-star rated and energy efficient. So just upgrade to a bigger one. This rebound effect, yeah. Hearing well, this rebound effect cancels out the most potential savings which can be made through conservation, and it is statistically insignificant for us. The next foremost point is the natural population growth and housing expansion, which overrides the individual efforts. You can save 1 unit. Yeah, you can save 1 unit, but the national remember that the national adds on 1 million new users every year. So the conservation exceeds the consumption, but the population growth naturally enlarges the cost. Even if each household manages to reduce the consumption by about 10 to 20%, millions of new households are just added on every year due to either population growth, migration, or urbanization. So that the total electricity demand, thus only is achievable is mathematically unrealistic. So my dear friends, upon conclusion, I just want to say that the energy conservation in the residential sector not failing because people building are irresponsible. No, no positive. People are not irresponsible. It is failing because the system is designed in such a way that makes the meaningful and conservation impossible. Please have it in mind when we are aiming of achieving the conservation in residential sector for the child. I again repeat it. Please have it in mind when we are bringing the energy conservation in residential sector. We are asking the families to change lifelong habits, to sacrifice their comfort, to invest the money which they literally don't want or don't have, modify the things that they don't own, or reduce the consumption in the society that constantly encourages buying more appliances. This contradiction is the core of our argument. Energy conservation sounds noble on paper, yeah, but when it comes for finance, lifestyle trends, architecture, population growth, human psychology, all put in the opposite direction, the goal becomes idealistic and not realistic. Aspirational, yeah, but not achievable. Admirable for the sake, but impractical. Let us be honest. Without structural reform, without technological transformation, without systemic investment incentives, asking the residential households alone to try the energy conservation is like a single candle to light an entire stadium. I hereby conclude, and I reaffirm that energy conservation in the residential sector under present condition for the state. Please underline under present condition is indeed impossible, idealistic, and not achievable and impractical. I thank everyone for this moment.
Very emphatic, deterministic in favoring this motion of an economic realistic unachievable impact goal. Of course, we have to accept certain points. It is informing us that we have to compromise with the comforts of the general public. And after going for work and all, they will be coming to home and that use all the gadgets and facilities. What is the life of all those facilities? And it may be correct. But I confirm the demography is a plan as well as a goal. Each time implementation of such systems will be a society in the larger expectation. So who has to conserve? Whether residential sector or some other sector? Because residential sector is contributing 25% to 30% of the overall energy production. Now, how to mitigate these requirements and how we can conserve the energy conservation in the agricultural, commercial, traction, it is railways and in EV, electric vehicles. I call upon Dr. Ganesh Devaraj, who is supposed to be our former chief engineer of Tamil Nadu Power Generation Corporation Limited, and he is concentrating his global leadership is what he has, and he can know he is looking older, but he is the one of the youngest minds in our society and in our department. So he will be delivering of a possible realistic, achievable, practical goals in an acceptable way to be corporate because we have given timings only at the day hours and you will be programming to go to the homes and pick up. This is an important point to be understood by the society. Your honest presence and cooperation in this regard will be gratefully taken and is appreciable. Thank you. Please proceed.
Today, we are talking conservation of energy in the sector as well as the government. Industrial establishment faces hospitals, schools, colleges, malls, people, the government buildings. The main fund for protect the public health. Second is there is a conservation integrated by the innovation in the year 2009. It's not a committee already they formulated. Since then it is implementing to reduce the carbon emission in all of the cities. So that now most of the countries are the carbon emission. It looks as if reduction of carbon emission again 2020. But now we are it is not possible to reduce carbon emission. 2050. Subject for carbon neutrality only 2070. Most of the countries are ready to natural renewable. Germany, the UK are very country. They shifted renewable energy. What is it? They can't get public movement. Doesn't problem together. Establishment on main doing. The main you are starting at the message. There are not only companies that there, so many countries are definitely some of the areas. So this is actually a really good. So it is the system one of the that was the danger. In practice also, because everybody, let us think about some examples. That's not part of the consideration. The way it consideration. It was taken March 1st. After it is a political property of a million, not actually one. Same amount of it is 5 million. So most of somebody. Most of them must be considered. So, we can save the energy. This was and actually also we have later the reduce consumer consumption and the economic what it is. Some places are in same concern, but not reality English transportation system also. It is very powerful. It is a very it is very powerful. So when you are doing everything, this one is one part of the same energy. There is no person, and it is very important. Just to be reaching about the experience, not to say it's smarter. Also, say it. So, they are very It is very important to have the second, another thing is education everyone would be great on the
Thank you, Engineer. Many people understand plans in a very nice, elaborate way. And next, to favor the notion of an impossible, realistic, non-achievable, impractical. I call upon Engineer M. Editor C, who is presently Assistant Executive Engineer in Material Management, working in Tamil Nadu Power Distribution Corporation Limited, and introduce. If I start introduce her, then it will be running 2 hours because she was in the stage for more than 2 decades and a wonderful speaker. Not only she got a lot of awards from the organization also, and congratulate to US records the audience. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your great introduction. I will put that to you after we finish this debate. Good evening to all. Sisters and brothers of our painting news. It fills my heart with joy unspeakable to rise in response to the work, the cordial welcome she has given us. Getting into my topic, I would like to clarify two simple questions. Kindly raise your hands if you are participating. First question. How many of you have more than one vehicle for you and your family stage?
I don't have any vehicles. It's not.
Second question. How many of you use public water as your daily usage? Particularly asking daily usage. Monthly one. Monthly one. For the first answer, between for the second answer, create doubt for energy conservation sound. It would not control energy consumption. How it is possible to do the energy conservation? It is a solid proof that energy conservation is impossible, unrealistic, non-achievable, difficult. Consequently,
Please go on. I cannot agree with you on that.
significant. I wondering how the opponent state dramatically argues
Excuse me, they are not operands. They are having other point of view. Excuse me. You see, one minute please. I am telling this and we have framed the topic as memorable evil. But not EUAEA, it is EUA. That means two aspects of the same coin. Excuse me, please don't interrupt. And the chance speaks, don't interrupt. And though this is another perspective. For anything and everything, there will be two perspectives. And you are favoring one thing, and somebody may be negating that. So it doesn't mean that they are not and you are only right. Because you are thinking in your left and right. That's why I kept you all in my left side. Because you will be calculated, mathematical, and you will be computing everything and see the cost benefit ratio and everything. These people are say, asked to sit in my right because they are using right train. They are compassionate and not only compassionate. Clearly, I can see you are being affected with certain kinds of this not with happy hormones. Only that what is the cortisol and adrenaline, but they are with dopamine and oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. So please continue.
Don't you have clearness the efficacy, not the delivery? You need statistics, but it's not reality. Especially judge, friends, colleagues, thinkers about our future today. I want to challenge a fundamental assumption we have been chasing like the great in the desert. Perfect energy conservation. Let me be clear from the outset. Energy conservation happens. It's happening right now in every device around us. However, the pursuit of perfect, flawless energy conversion and conservation, which is perhaps the most persistent, selective, and ultimately dangerous in human engineering, is the 100% efficient tropian item like the one perfectly.
Please go on.
India has a new Australia to its electricity demand every year. Our per capita consumption is still one third of the world's average, approximately. 300 million more people join the grid, and conservation becomes like trying to empty a plastic bowl teaspoon to agriculture. 20 million boxes workers inefficient. But convincing farmers who feel that they should conserve, look at our cities. Basic penetration grows approximately 15% yearly. Delhi summer conservation debate held after their ice cream. And the biggest joke is change combines. We are asking people who have just gained access to electricity after decade to now conserve it. That is like giving a starving man a feast and saying, now please keep going. For centuries, we have been practicing this method of efficiency, but here is the sovereign truth. Sympathy delivers, not infinite possibility. Every year, the conversion and conservation involve this much dissipation and degradation. Energy transforms from concentrated, helpful form, dispersed, less useful form. This is not an engineering problem. Space. Celebrate 91% efficiency, but then 5% loss across India, which equals the electricity used by millions of homes. The world's most efficient still is 40% of energy at peak before even videos were installed and photos. The more efficient we became at the component level, the more inefficient we became at the system level. Why? Because efficiency lowers the apparent cost of energy use, encourages the consumption. Greatest policy in energy conservation is the belief that technology alone can solve our energy challenges. But technology exists within humans. It doesn't say raw by the market. keeps getting bigger. When the music finds you, that the project,
Yes, I am concerned.
when the snake finds you, should you chase the snake and ask, why did you find me? Or chase to look at the feeling from the voice?
You go on, I cannot answer. In case one day you think that he will be favoring illiteracy and he will give the verdict for that. Excuse me, I am impartial and neutral, unbiased in declaring my verdict. Please go on.
What is happening? What can I do about this happen? Because why has no answers for a lot of time, but what has more answers for every time? That the conservation is not analytical, it is remedial. Until this remedy gets ready, energy conservation is an impossible, rational, non-achievable, impractical goal. We need a practical shift. Instead of chasing conversion, conservation efficiency, which focus on energy quality matching, taxpayer good, demand transformation, and system optimization. In this context, chasing perfect conversion and conservation efficiency akin to arranging big tracks while the ship is being built. The most significant conservation came out from better conversion, but from rethinking demand. What we should not ask for the seat for the table. We should build the table and tell the world, join for energy conservation. Until that, energy conservation is impossible goal. What India needs is not marginally better conversion devices, but smart bricks that match supply and demand intelligently. Circular systems that waste from one process feed another. Integrated plans for energy, water, and land use. Policies that value energy saving as much as energy generation. Respected judge and friends, I'm not arguing against conservation efficiency improvement. But person based on laws of economy saves millions. But I'm arguing against the ideology of perfect energy conversion and conservation against the notion that as innovation, we can supplement the reality. Energy conversion will always have losses which create significant impact on energy conservation. The question is not how to eliminate them, but how to work within them intelligently. The impossible ideal not target. This compass. It points us towards improvement. Remind us that perfection lies beyond reach. And in that manner, that wisdom to pursue what's better, not what's perfect. This decade is not about which perspective is right, about recognizing that we need both navigate the complex reality constellation of energy. Respected listeners, by hearing other arguments sitting on your side, don't get confusion. Declare that energy conservation is impossible, idealistic, non-achievable, impractical goal. That's your conclusion. Keep us to your meditation. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Give your point of view from this topic. I would like to whenever you are giving a statistics to the general public, we must be crystal clear in our minds. As far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, it is not a decade ago. 5 decades ago itself, when Dr. Kalaignar was the chief minister at that regime, all the villages have been electrified. This kind of note. And now you are having a optimistic, not only an optimistic, top-minded optimist as well, CMD, to place before what he has told, we all put together 10% of the total installed capacity, that is around 20,000 megawatts. We can save energy of 2,000 megawatts, and which will be, if you are producing right now, be costing 12,000 crores per year, which is 78%. It is 1.25 times of your total employee cost. Be optimistic, and of course, there are some things to be corrected. I do agree, but it doesn't mean that what you are told in an authentic way is not acceptable. And at the same time, we will be giving weightage to both the parties, and the very considered views will be taken. And I'm not going to give the verdict based on the IPC. I'm going to give the verdict based on the one important book on Tirupura. This one, which is common, neutral in its view and perspective, and it deals with ethics, power, and love in 3 different chapters, and in the administration, power, well dealt by him, with 700 couplets, and in the ethics also some 380 couplets, and the love portion with the 250 couplets, even from our earliest to all the persons who have followed and reached the present door and the zenith in their life. So kindly follow that Quran, and based on that only I am going to verdict. Don't be panic, don't be negative, be optimistic, and impartially a verdict will be given. Now, thank you for the lucid and also a clear views on your standpoint. After some time, you can go to High Court or Supreme Court as an advocate, and your arguments you may get, or I do not know, but you will be definitely getting very good verdicts. It will be fairly. I don't want to tell right now, but to proactive and optimistic and beneficial to the society. Thank you. Now, I call upon Dr. A. Dukka Devi to discuss the energy conservation, a possible, realistic, achievable, practical goal, point of view of a major sector called the industrial sector, where our corporates are there, where if they wish, they can invest crores and crores of rupees in all this conservation and mitigate and alleviate all the problems connected, and they can make the society in a very positive, pragmatic way. So, Dr. A. Dukka Devi is, I was told that she is now holding a post of legal secretary in Tamil Nadu Engineers Association, and this is Indian Communication, and London subject person to discuss on this very important topic. I welcome on your behalf, and please continue, madam.
Start from Respect the chair. After medicine and industrial power plants. Engineering methodology and values, and civil sector methodology, studying on the multi-party otherwise non-relevant against home. This power sector now India has launched the first of its kind research sector with 5 units in India. 2025. In Haryana, Constitution IIT Kanpur, IIT Bombay, CSR IIT Delhi, MD Metro, Constitution implemented the civil sector research for the state level. So, all that one of the things is how this is happening in research. After using smart quotas, before 95 classes. What is smart control automation regulated products is also real-time data showing output, 50% of the alpha sign methodology. This is done. I started to replacing legacy extensive features and with unusual gradient methods. HTML and sheet recovery as key examples with converted to uncommon energy. Using organic cycle and process identification key exchanges borders. And examples different sources for energy. Effective reality for solar wind and solar. And for reducing all so lower the natural resources. That are the sort of not about sacrifice. It's about making them for efficiency for excess, not for wastage. This is a directly consists of judgment of the essential. The first part of the future and growth of customer. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. Madam has covered the subject eloquently and used in a very clear way. And one of the questions was about hydrogen fuel cells. I would like to remind the audience, this was advocated by Dr. Swami for more than a decade, and he was fervently advocating to be implemented in India for a very long time. All governments of this nation proactively implement such initiatives for the welfare of the people. And he is always for meritocracy. Thanks to his views and a foresighted scientific outlook, experience, and erudite study and knowledge. At the same time, Madam was very much going in deep into the AI technology and all, being threatening all the sectors, and this cutting edge technology may deep joblessness, but it is not the case. If some 78% of the jobs are taken, 120% of the jobs will be coming soon. So no need to be panicked, and well over is being told for the average minds only, uh, what do you call the A or AGA or ASA or OA or even the quantum computing can be specifically be used in medical research and development like that, but not in the day-to-day infrastructure things like only for some kind of control systems like that, for some PLC and whatnot, MRT like that we can use. But for the very construction of the power to the grid, everybody is inevitable, and so we need not be panic on that water. Now, and to negate her views and to talk on the topic of energy conservation, possible, idealistic, unachievable, impracticable goal. Dr. B.S. Sri Raja Balamulu, who is a veteran and assessment, and he is dealing with the renewable, and right now he is in data management of the Tamil Nadu Power Distribution Corporation Limited, and he is also a professor for some time and a young and dynamic leader in making his views in a very lucid and nice manner. So I'm indebted to him a lot because with Mr. Dr. Balamurugan, Dr. Balamuru only approached me on this topic to be discussed in public, and for that idea being given by him, I'm very much thankful to him. Let him continue his talk. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, all. First of all, I understand the salary and political capacity, moderator, having me here in the conservation program. Indeed, it's my pleasure and honor to be a part of this program. And today's topic, an impossible idea is not achievable practical goal. And these figures talk about the positive and impossible. So here, we are also, here Dr. Vijay pointed out, we are also finding for the possible thing. But how, when you talk about the goal, it will not be achievable. But the thing is, the body and brain work should be clear. So once the body and brain is clear, we can only achieve the goal. And energy conservation, or energy, because more about this energy conservation. The energy is the ability to do work and it converts one form of energy to another. And all we talk about energy conservation, which means how the energy we are using effectively and wisely from lighting our home to powering the industry. So today we are going to talk about the industry. And industry is a very, very important area that we have to touch upon for the energy conservation. Because HC consumers, EHC consumers, bulk consumption comes under this industry. Because the industry's consumers are very, very important. So all point out the energy conservation is not partly energy conservation. You have to see the energy triangle. It's the three data group. So one is energy conservation, second is energy efficiency, and third one is the renewable. So energy conservation means your water, so conservation of your water bodies, forest recovery, all those things come under the energy conservation, particularly green building. That's what I started as point of the retrofitting of the old building. The building is nothing but the retrofitting of my ancient style. Normally, when we talk about the energy conservation, we always talk about the solar wind something. But see, the solar is the active energy. The green building is the passive energy. So solar is the active solar energy. Sunlight converts to the electricity and then we are replacing. Instead of that, the green building naturally the passive solar is a building design. So using that, we are illuminating and we are getting the natural illumination. So that's what the green building is a natural vegetation or natural illumination. That's what even in nothing but the ancient styles of Tamil Nadu. So the Chettinad house, you can see in the cinema house. The Chettinad house is nothing but at a certain point that's called the Brahmastan. In that Brahmastan, directly the water is flowing by and natural sunlight coming. So that is what the green building is very, very important. Lot of visitors are happy with green building. And coming to the second, energy efficiency, starting efficiency in the standard labels, the energy efficient motors they are using in the industry. So that is a very important point. And this main thing I want to point out here, under the Electricity Act 2001, the Central Government notifies the nine designated sectors, the nine designated sectors, the designated consumers. See, the top is the BEE, Bureau of Energy Efficiency, and all the states you have a state designated agency, and under that, most important consumers are designated consumers. This is designated consumers sector. The aluminum industry, chemical fertilizers, cement industry, iron industry, weapons work, railways, station, and power and alcohol. Because in thermal station about 140 designated consumers approximately. This designated consumers means which consumes more than electricity. So here it is not only electricity, more energy. Energy only we have to always talk about the energy means not only the electricity. How the water is used, how the oil is used, everything. It is measured in NPOE. So that is the main thing for the designated consumers. And the most important thing, because the thermal station, as you know, the fuel oil purposes there, so we have had here, the thermal we have to use. These 3 points, the energy conservation, energy efficiency, and the renewable. These 3 points are very, very important. So we have to talk about this particular area in this consumers, the fuel oil perspective. So, and here, because the conversations are emitting the SOx, NOx, and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. This is greenhouse gases. And this greenhouse gas water, the suspended particle is more and it creates the global warming. That is the major thing. All the industries, textile industries, aviation industries, to go towards this energy pyramid. Energy pyramid is very, very important, and that is what we are marching towards the national target of the revenue. The government of India has given the target already we are to 155 gigawatt by the year 2020. One more target is there. We have to see the target of 2 to 3 gigawatts by the year 2030. And we are marching towards the target of 500 gigawatts by the year 2030. So one more year is very important. That is 27. What is 27? Very important. It's 27 is the carbon neutrality. The carbon neutrality. So see, that's what the globe is increasing the temperature. You know what is the average temperature of this globe? No, the globe temperature, the planet temperature. See, 1.5 or 1.6 is it? For the past 2 centuries, the temperature is increasing. Increasing. And the average, I'm talking about the average temperature of this globe, this Earth, this Mother Earth. That's 40 to 50 degrees. 40 to 50 degrees. So now if it is increased 1%, not many effects. So that is what this greenhouse effect, what we are talking about this thing. And the sales of energy is very, very important. We have to put the target of 2070, nothing but net zero carbon neutrality. Dr. Jayalal sir, we pointed out clearly, we are marching towards the net zero. Some of the countries having a target of 2050, US 28, and China is 2060, and India is 2070. So we have the development countries. We have it's very, very, very important. So that is what is happening for your thermal station or chemical industry or fertilizer industry, just designated consumers. What is happening? That is what we are moving towards the very, very, very important. And second, this designated consumers, you have to target, that is what the pack said, first pack. The form is there in DSP. So DSP is there. Pack under the state designated agency perform achieve trade. So which means all the industries, especially industries, under the power, you can trade through exchanges. So there, that's what it is called essence, which is nothing but energy saving strategy. Finally, to conclude, that net zero is very, very important, whether we are there or not. The young generation is there. Definitely, you have to take this target because that is what the average today, even for the electric vehicles, for the diesel car or petrol vehicle. What is the average? EV, LNG, and today we are going towards this. Even the green hydrogen will become a very big way tomorrow. And finally, free growth. Underlies because all the industry, Asian industries, ESG industry, so all the industry based consumers, you have to use this triple R and what is this triple R? Reuse, reduce, cycle. So which means that if you reuse and recycle this, Dr. Jayas also pointed out, actually of the PPA, we have to need to see it, not only leather industries, not only land we should have today, this not so those things now today come forward and so a lot of things are happening and we are deciding for water and we are actually the PPA. So that is very important. And the second thing is this target. Be prepared. What is prepared is digitalization, decentralization, decarbonization. So what is digitalization? So talk about the smart meters, AI, and all those things. So this is a very important thing. What is the decentralization? Decentralization means all the consumers. Even your also quantity is included. That is what the DSC concept is very demand side management. There are two types of behavior. One is technology behavior, and the other is consumer behavior. Technology behavior means as the technology changes, we have to change. Say, for example, using the LED, normal filament bulb. So which means what is the application of this LED bulbs? That is the technology behavior. You have to change the technology. And second is consumer behavior. The consumer has to change. You have to change. So shifting your load balance from the peak hours to the non-peak hours. So that is very, very important. So digitalization, decentralization, and the most important is decarbonization. So we are all here for the decarbonization. That is the goal 2070. We have to achieve. So for that, got many targets, got many plans of government of India. Even we have to march towards the target and hope for the best. We are all there is mother, at least the simple contribution, planting the trees. We have to go for 2 to 3 gigawatts of emission. Thinking of the carbon emission of 2 to 3 gigawatts of carbon emission by the year 2020. For the best. Thank you. Thank you.
Important point. Now, not, I do not know. Dr. Sri Raja Balaguru started negating the emotion, ended with the favoring the emotion. How it can happen? Because in his blood, everything is, I think his blood is P positive. I do not know. Oh, positive. Okay, thank you very much. Because, so, he is very active in dealing this subject. So, Madam Nancy was telling that whether the judge was confused or not, and he called me a moderator. Either I am a moderator or a judge, I leave it to the audience. But my verdict will be based on, as I have said, these are plural. And you see, the hours are moving, and I know your appetite also. And I will conclude within 5 minutes. You can take leave, and pragmatically you can optimize some the energy utilization and like that. Dr. Balaguru is advocating for 3 hots and 3 Ds. But I am in favor of 3 triple bottom. Right. And because finance is the backbone of any industry, and I am in favor of triple bottom line. One is the profit of the company, the next is the profit of the society, and the third one is the profit of the environment. That is, globally, we must take care of the environment also. So I am in favor of the triple bottom line. And having made me to give this point, I'm thankful to Dr. Balaguru. And as he has told, the thermal power requirement projected to grow around 307 gigawatt by 2025. Latest media interview, our Indian Minister for Commerce, Piyush Goyal, said in response to a question from the Hindu. And speaking to the reporters, he said progress was being constantly made to meet the energy requirements of the country. He informed that in the previous fiscal, 7.2 gigawatt worth capacity was commissioned. Like that, every capacity addition in active way. All that, uh, and it should happen sooner or later. More in a very give the things important topic of the energy. And this is also being made. I wanted to cite 2 plus from about the richest of the earth, richest among the richest, highest for fourth world says that the earth feed the planet. So I think you mentioned to hear my voice for another 4 minutes. And to continue my life, I really what they are saying from my left. There is the view left view is that, right view is also that. We have in center. We have to accept the views of the right as well as the left. And what is very important is it should be beneficial to the society and to the downtrodden, upper classes, and all people, and there should be a distribution of the all resources in the great extent. In the talk, really all these speakers where their point crystal clear, and somebody were also uh, neutral in viewing the things and very practical in approaching the subject. I congratulate uh, very meticulous preparations and delivering this child, and you can have a clap for that. Clap of this for this very purpose. You see, as I have told in the initial uh, time itself, it is a kind of perspective. Somebody are having some other perspective and the other will be conflict with you. So it doesn't mean that I, I, I will never mean as opposing ones. It is a complementary one, like a day and night, like uh, what do you call? Everything is dialectic in this world. So directly we have to accept the reality and should implement it for the betterment of the society. And whatever we think, we are having a lot of difficulties in dealing this factor of but the union government and the federal government in particular, they are taking initiative in mitigating this uh, problem of how to control the energy losses. Uh, I would like to inform lesser comparatively that that is around 11 to 12%, and there will be about national outages. So in Tamil Nadu is the forerunner in every field, and in particularly in the field of electricity also. They are achieving a lot. They are augmenting the power. They are making all kinds of initiatives, and for that, in the power augmentation also, they are bringing this pumped storage, which is a clean and green energy. So that can be used as a power bank. In off-peak energy can be used, and we can pump the water from the reservoir, and at the peak demand we can very well utilize a cheaper power, cleaner power, and which can be very efficient in the system and very economical. So in that water, as I already mentioned, like our CMD told, we can also reduce the consumption or some kind of hospitals in our homes, to government buildings, to industrial sector, everywhere. Some 10% is saved means that we will be saving in Tamil Nadu around 2,000 megawatts. Likewise, as our panelists have well explained, they have touched all the points from targeted efficient usage of the equipments to make the escalator R losses a little bit lower, and how the pop factor have to be used, and because this pop factor, if it is between 0.75 to 0.8 bits, it's not economical. So for that, we have to make this system by the local arrangements. It should be raised at least to 0.95 to 0.98. And we have to confirm that in a great coordination is needed and smart work is needed. Like smart work is not as needed. We need a strong soil, flexible times in working places and flexible decision making and taking the views of all and presentations with all stakeholders are very, very important. Everybody is unique in their own way, and we must be pragmatic in dealing all these matters and taking their views. So, on the see the and weighing in the scale based on, as I have mentioned, based on plural aspect, that we have to see the doctor side, the very positive side of the subject, and this observation is really possible one, and it is to conclude with all uh, stakeholders' acceptance and appreciation and participation. I give the word of conservation, energy conservation is a possible, realistic, achievable, practical, and can be implemented by any government in a proactive and positive way, and we can achieve the optimistic view of the matters and decision making and optimal utilization of the finances with the finance people like that we can do the favor to our nation by the way of contributing ourselves in this IT and technological world. We can do wonders in a scalable with all your cooperation with the we have conducted this verbal EUPL nicely and both the perspectives can be viewed and some post cultures can be made and we can do wonders in the years to come. And I happily end this saying that the energy conservation is a possible, realistic, achievable, practical. Thank you.
Beautiful ranges and then practical can be done. But we need to go to the page there. Like, so then but that's a bit if you can see from it's that we don't we say that is way because of the family we have and now it is so we will be still on the way. We can say that so still up to say that way so energy is not for individuals. We need to consider who are leaders of duty and compare with the so and they are better trained people who are like that today this is the he has brought change to the world. It is not the that we have total something but we do we achieve the goals. This is the I request Dr. President to please moderate. I request activity 8. நீங்க கொஞ்சம் மேல
சார்ஜ் போட்டு மாற்றி மாற்றி போட்டு இந்த போட்டோ ஓகே ஓகே போட்டோ எடுக்கணும் நானே ஒரே போன் மட்டும் எனக்கு போட்டோ போட்டுக்கிட்டீங்களா பரவாயில்ல ஓகே சார்